Cancer, hello, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. It is Mama Manifests here. I've tried to do your reading 27 times. That's an exaggeration. It's been like 5, 4, I don't know. It feels like I've been in your energy so many times, but it just was not right. Like it was not up to, I was a Virgo in many past lives. And so I really have that perfectionist, like I carried that into this lifetime. And anyway, that's a side note. We're talking about Cancer. We're not talking about Virgo. Maybe you guys are dealing with a Virgo. I don't know. But okay, so we're doing a new spread today. And this is something that came into my consciousness like a long time ago, almost a year ago. And it left, it said bye, and now it's back. It came into my consciousness earlier today. I really haven't been, I haven't known which direction that I want to go, and nothing's been feeling right with my channel. And I'm like, what is it? And now I'm really excited about this. And I just did it for you guys are second in the lineup, which, on my fidget spinner, I have a Zodiac fidget spinner. So that's how I spin that and, get the order of the Zodiac uploads. Like, it's like I feel like it puts everything in divine timing. Anyway, you guys were second, but that doesn't mean you're second. You are number one in my heart. In fact, Cancer, I lit this guardian angel candle for you guys, just for you. It wasn't in my last reading. And something told me I was standing lighting an incense and I saw this candle sitting there and it hadn't been lit yet. And I heard a little voice, my own voice, something inside of me just told me, light this for Cancer. So that's exciting. You guys may have a guardian angel very close to you. Somebody who watches over you and protects you, and they're very close to you right now. So that's something to definitely think about. But the new spread here, we're going to do it. We're going to do some Kim Cran's archetype, and then my first tarot deck ever, which I've never used on camera besides the last video I just uploaded for Taurus. We're gonna do some of that. We're gonna jump in that later. Okay. Before we jump into the reading, and while I shuffle, I am open for personal readings. So if you would like one of those, my email is in the description box below. Email me and I'll give you all the the details on a personal reading, okay? That's what I'm going to do. But yeah, this is a different type of spread, and I'm so excited to jump into your energy and see what's going on. We'll do one more shuffle. Holy Spirit, holy angels, please be with me during this reading. Please guide me through this reading, and please have me say whatever you would have me say. Please help me to articulate these messages in a way you, the viewer on the other side of this video, can really take into their soul and their heart. Please help me to channel this energy through divine wisdom, love, light, and yeah, that's it. Thanks, guys, so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we're going to cut the deck, and we're going to go deep today. I can feel it. Okay, we're going to cut the deck, and I'll explain more about this setup, or what is it called? Hold on. It's called a spread. Okay, so we'll see. Wow. Big energy, heavy energy coming out. This is the shadow energy. So this is what you guys have been kind of suppressing and not taking a look at. And that is a huge part of the shadow. And that's the orphan energy. Everybody has this energy inside of them, whether you were a literal orphan and or, we all have some sort of abandonment issues, which then creates this fear of rejection issues. And when we go through life with a fear of rejection, we sabotage our relationships. There's many, many different ways that the fear of rejection can manifest, but it's not being able to communicate what we're really feeling because we're attached to the outcome of how the other person might react because we're trying to protect this orphan inside of us. And so definitely some fear of rejection, fear of abandonment. There's a call. Like I feel an avoidance from you guys. There's an avoidance that this stuff ever even happened or this stuff even bothered you. Or maybe you have, maybe you've had a better childhood than some. And I'm not saying all of you. This is just a message for some of you. Maybe you've had a better childhood than some. And so you don't really feel like you have that same orphan inside of you. Well, we all do. If you were born before 2020 and if you're born after 2020, nobody's watching this video that's born after 2020, but human beings, we're all human beings and we're all fallible and we all have the shadow. And working on the shadow hasn't even come into conscious awareness until pretty recently, relatively recently. So we've all endured some sort of trauma, some sort of rejection, some sort of something. There are things in our past that were not great experiences that maybe you were taught, or it's just a belief system that, I don't need to look at that again, or I don't want to think about something because it inflicts pain. Well, of course, we want to find the balance in between what inflicts pain and not, but the orphan energy definitely needs to be looked at. And so that may be manifesting in different experiences. Wow. And I have to tell you guys, the first 17, I'm going to change that number every time. I'm just kidding. The first couple readings I did for you guys, this card came out every time. So it wants to be here. So we'll talk about it in a second. This is in your past. But yeah, it's kind of like gradually moving into it. That's what I was saying. Maybe this shadow energy, because it wants to come into your awareness. It wants you to look at it, has been manifesting in situations that are uncomfortable, that are triggering it. And we look at trigger as a bad thing, like don't trigger. And yes, of course, we don't want to trigger other people. We want to be more mindful of other people. But when we're triggered, it's actually a gift. It does not feel like a gift while we're going through that trigger, but it is, because what triggers do is they bring into our awareness of what needs to be healed. That's a trigger, okay? And it's a gift. But in your past, you've taken on this warrior energy, okay? So you've been triggered and you've had to take on this rigid, tougher exterior. But the snake is here too. Look at this. Oh, your third eye's opening. Wow. There's so much coming into awareness for you guys. Your third eye is moving to that next level. Like, I don't think the third eye opening is a one-time event. I think our chakras get these upgrades every time we go through these types of energies, every time we get these major trigger points. I mean, everybody's third eye is kind of opening up in 2020. We're seeing things from a different perspective, okay? It's a different point of view. It's like seeing things through a different perspective. But then we have the snake here as well. So there's definitely this new, and that's your root chakra, this new Kundalini activation. And look at this. So you guys, I feel too from this card, wow, there's so much coming through. You have a little bit more of a tough exterior right now. Okay. I feel like kind of beating your head up against the wall. You're around situations that are triggering you. But what's keeping you sane through the whole process is not only the inner warrior, but the vision. Look at this. It's like stuck in between his two horns. It's coming open. Like, that's the vision of the future. That's the awareness that the triggers that are coming up are a gift. And maybe you knew that before coming to this video, or maybe this is now coming into your consciousness as you watch this video. But you kind of know that you're healing, right? You kind of know that. And that's what's keeping you sane through all this darker energy of those triggers manifesting. Wow. But it's a whole process, and it's opening up your third eye. It's activating you with this snake energy, and this is your true north up here. Okay? Wow. Wow. I love that for you guys, Cancer. I absolutely love it. Okay. So, wow. You guys want to know all the answers right now. You're like, give me the spiritual book. I want to go into my Akashic records. Give me all the information right now. But your higher self is telling you to embrace the mystery, okay? Look at this. Like it's a confusing card. Like, which direction do I look at? Which star system am I from? You know, which direction do I go to? Where do I give my energy? So many different people want my energy. Should I put it back in myself? Where am I supposed to be? Where is my destination? There's no real destination. I mean, there's places we stop at for longer periods of time, but there isn't really anyway, that's an idea. It hinders us on our journey. But yeah, definitely Cancer for you guys. Definitely the guidance is embrace this journey, embrace the mystery, right? You're trying to solve something that just simply cannot be solved right now. And that's what your higher self wants you to know. There's this riddle and you're trying to crack it. And there's nothing to be cracked. It's a process. And, you're in part of the process where you're having huge shifts of awakening. And yeah, I do see some triggers, but you're finding out your inner strength. You're finding out how truly strong you are. I love it. Oh, okay. Wow. So you guys, and this is like the future energy coming up, you guys are going on a sacred voyage. So, this moving into this, all of these things that are triggering you are showing you what's holding you back. That's what they're doing. It's from what you want. And in the future, because you're going to look at these differently and know that you're just healing and you're in the meat and potatoes of healing right here, you're doing the actual work, okay? That's what these two cards tell me. You're doing the actual work. You're not just spiritual bypassing or whatever, Okay. I'm drinking tea that I made for myself this morning, sat on my counter all day, and then I just microwaved it. I don't know why I just told you guys that, but I did. So you're going on this sacred voyage right now. And this takes courage, right? I feel like, accepting that we're not going to crack the whole code. We actually have to go on a pilgrimage to get more of the answers to the riddle of ourselves. The riddle really is of ourselves. But this is enabling you. These three first cards are enabling you. They're giving you the inner resources of courage, curiosity, you're purpose driven, expansion, you want your consciousness to expand. You're seeing the benefit of that more than anything. You're seeing the benefit of this process, which is then fueling the vehicle. Vehicle. I don't know why I find that so funny, but it's fueling this pilgrimage, right? You have to be ready to go on the pilgrimage. You have to be ready to go down this sacred voyage. And this energy has, helped you do that. Wow. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love this. Right. This really makes me think of Frozen 2, Into the Unknown, when she says, "I'm sorry, secret siren, but I'm blocking out your calls. I've had my adventure. I don't need something new," whatever. She talks about following you. But yeah, so this is that, if you guys have seen Frozen 2, the sound, okay, I'm sorry if your ears are hurting after that, but you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, this is that secret siren calling you. It's like, maybe, that's another thing. Everybody around you, you're like, do you hear that? Do you see this? Different things are coming into your consciousness, but probably not so that, because it seems to, in what I've observed from the spiritual awakening process, it's usually one person in the bigger unit of people, and then it's like popcorn, right? One person, we can't have everybody doing all the work together. I don't know why. It would maybe make it easier. I don't know. But it's all designed perfectly. We have to trust that. I trust that. But it's all designed perfectly. But you're the one in your little network who has had this secret siren, the call. You hear it. It's that sound calling you into the unknown, which is the pilgrimage, because, she follows that sound into the forest, to find out the truth about the past, to make, change the future, all of that, really deep. Frozen 2, if you haven't seen it, Highly recommend it. But yeah, so there's a siren calling and you're following it. You're following it. Oh, I love that. Okay. So we're going to get a couple more cards out here. This is another beautiful, colorful deck. I have to say, I am just so grateful to be in this energy of being able to be of service and reading again. I'm very grateful. And I'm very grateful for this beautiful, abundant, spiritual, wise channel. Thanks for sharing that gratitude with me, Cancer. Okay. We're just going to go a little bit deeper. Wow. Yeah, you guys have really, really, really protected yourself. You're afraid that if you look at this energy, you're going to lose something. And that's going to be different for each and every one of you. There's been some sort of fear. And I did feel resistance to this energy when I first pulled it out because it's coming from the shadow. It's like coming from what we're not looking at right now. And maybe it's this idea, maybe like the truth about the past. There's a reason I said that. There's some sort of your past that you're not seeing clearly that needs to be looked at. And maybe for some of you, you're focused so much on the negative aspects that you can't see the beautiful aspects of your childhood and your past and remember the good memories, which are fuel. Because whatever we remember about our past has a way of affecting our present and our future. Very interesting. Or maybe, you've always been this person who wanted to pretend that it was all beautiful. And maybe that's just what you want to project out into the world because it was easier, understandably so. But yeah, you're holding on to some sort of belief about the past and about how you truly feel inside, about maybe you feel shameful or guilty or vulnerable if you are truly honest with yourselves about the past and about the times you felt rejected or abandoned, or even now, maybe the times that you feel alone. There's a definite need to look at that right now, okay? And I do see some resistance. So just the awareness that there is some resistance there gives us incredible power, okay? Yep. You guys just entered into a new cycle, right? You guys are in the cycle of healing. Like I said, that meat and the potatoes. And this really goes with that pilgrim energy. Look at her. I mean, she's entering in. Look at the butterflies surround her. And it's just absolutely magical. And she's about to jump off the cliff. She's about to go into the unknown. Look at this. She's about to go into the unknown. She's following that secret siren. Wow. And maybe, you haven't had to use this warrior energy in a while. And I feel like so many times on the spiritual path, like that's when people stop doing it as intensely as they once did, or what scares them off the path is when these energies start to come up to the surface. Because maybe right now you feel like you need to be more protective of yourself. You have your horns out like we see on this card. And maybe people around you are commenting about the negative aspects of you. It's all part of the process. But that's definitely new for you. It's new because all of this is coming up to the surface, right? And it's new for you. And maybe it's scary. I mean, she hasn't quite jumped off. She's put her toe out. She's about to go. And I feel that for you guys, like this wishy-washy back and forth, indecisive. You're going to go. I see it here. You're going to go. You're going to go. I mean, the universe is going to push you off anyway. I feel like those butterflies are a lot stronger than they appear. And they're just going to flap their wings and she's going to fly off anyway. I mean, that's the universe in a nutshell, right? Okay. All right. Ooh, I love this. So, okay. The riddle paired with the Two of Cups. You're like also definitely A big portion of the riddle is your connections in your life. It could be an intimate relationship, but it has a lot to do with family and friends, and you're watching the dynamics change of that right now. And I love that this is coming out because the universe is very clearly saying to you, Cancer, those decisions don't need to be made right now. Just go with the flow. Follow what makes you feel good. You don't need to make any decisions while you're in the healing process. No, not while all of this stuff is on the surface. Okay, so if that's taking up, a fraction of your brain space and your brain capacity, it's wasted energy because you're trying to figure out something that can't be figured out right now. Okay, so that's a big message for some of you. You're really spending a lot of time like worried about who's going to come, who's going to go. You don't need to worry about it. It's naturally, going to happen. You're naturally going to break away from the situations with the Four of Pentacles here too, just don't hold on too tightly to any idea, any direction. Just do your thing. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Embrace this healing, and if you need to go on your sacred voyage, if part of your sacred voyage is traveling or doing things and you need to do that alone, do it alone. That doesn't mean that, everything's ending or the world is ending, So, okay. Wow. Ooh, look at this. You're traveling deep into your subconscious, okay? You're like, this is where this stuff is housed, okay? We are ruled by our subconscious. Our subconscious laughs at our conscience thinking it's making decisions. Yes, we consciously make our decisions, but the subconscious is like all of those thoughts that pop up, the fears or, the things that say, yeah, you should do this because, or no, don't do this because. And if there's trauma in the past, you're going to hear, no, don't do that because a lot more than you're going to hear, go for it. What is there to lose? No experience goes wasted, right? That's the voices that we want to hear when we're making the decisions in our life, not the fears holding us back because we haven't dealt with stuff that happened in the past, okay? So that's where your sacred voyage is here, and there's a lot of mystery, right? You guys are being, like I said, embrace the mystery. That's the title of this reading. I got to write that down. Cancer, embrace the mystery, into the unknown. I'm moving and getting paper. Embrace the mystery into the unknown. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It will come to me. Embrace the mystery. Okay. But yeah, the moon energy. So yeah, you're going deep, deep, deep in, and a lot of like healing, whether you're a man or a woman, a lot of healing to your subconscious and to your feminine aspect. And the feminine is the intuitive side. It's the nurturing side. It's, there's a lot of aspects to our feminine, and there's a lot of inner feminine energy being healed. And that's happening on a collective level. You are not alone. The whole world is going, we've had the masculine dominate truly for so long, and now we're balancing out because those two truly need to be in harmony, the yin and the yang, for things to be fair and balanced. So of course it would make sense if that's, happening outside of us, then that's a reflection of what we need to heal inside of ourselves. If that's what we're observing, oh my gosh, so much is coming through for me as I do your reading. I'm not a Cancer, but I'm feeling your reading big time. But yeah, whatever's triggering us on the outside, and it could be like personal relationships or it could be on a world scale. Like I've been complaining a lot about just feeling, I've been so angry at I've been seeing, it's just come into my awareness how masculine driven of a society that we truly live in. And yes, it's not to say we haven't come leaps and bounds, but there is always room for growth. And, you really have to look very deep to see that. And you really have to be incredibly observing. But, that's the truth that I have found. And it hurts me inside, quite a bit because I'm a very feminine energy. I'm double ruled by Venus. I'm going to stop talking about myself now. This is about you guys. So yeah, huge. You're going in a sacred voyage within. Okay. And there is a lot of mystery coming up. I love that too. Like you're in this period. There's times where like I don't see like, of course I'll say it and then the sun will come out on the siren, but like there's times when things are super illuminated and then there's other times where there's mystery, and the moon energy and the riddle energy and the siren energy all scream to me huge mystery, and we don't know the answers, and there is a time and place for not knowing the answers, to being confused, and that period is to really look within, to do inner healing, and to embrace uncertainty, because uncertainty is a part of life. It's a part of every cycle we're going to be in. There is no escaping uncertainty, so we best get comfortable in it, and we best master that energy. Okay. So we have the siren with the 8 of Pentacles, you know, just another level. Like you guys have made a decision. Like the siren that's calling you is self-mastery for sure. Personal development. Maybe you've even just been on this long road of personal development. Maybe it started off with a self-help book, and then maybe somewhere down the line you read, You Are a Badass. And then, you know, because that's a very, very introductory, is that the right word? Book, but it's amazing. It's so meaty, you know, with the information. She lays it out in such a simplistic way, Jen Sincero. But maybe you started with that book, side note. And if you haven't read it, definitely easy read, definitely would recommend that to you guys. There's a reason it came up in this reading, but maybe you started there and you've been on this long road of personal development and you've really just seen the benefit of it. And now you're like, you've entered into the spiritual realm, chances are, because you have a highly spiritual purpose. That's why so many of us come to tarot. And I feel like that's the people who watch me are the spiritual healers and the spiritual teachers. Like we all have different purposes. Some people, you know, they're going to finish their life as a nurse, and that's just as important as a spiritual purpose. But the people who come to my channel have a very spiritual purpose. There's all different purposes that we all have. And some of us are a teacher in the beginning and we go through many different characters, right? We go through many different purposes and we serve many different purposes, and it's ever changing. But now you've gotten to this place where like, for you to what am I thinking? Oh yeah. You're almost addicted to becoming the best version of yourself. And now you've hit this point where it's a little bit scarier than the journey has been thus far. Your addiction and your love, right? And I don't want to like say that like it's a bad thing, because addiction is correlated. Let's say your love of it, your love of self-improvement has brought you to this point, and there is nowhere to go but down this crazy AF spiritual path, and really embrace it, and really embrace the meat and the potatoes of it. Cancer, follow that siren. Let's go. So your homework, I'm just kidding, but just recommendations. Watch Frozen 2, listen to Into the Unknown. You can look it up on YouTube. Read You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero, and subscribe to my channel. I'm just kidding. All optional. But if you got value, I mean, hey, you know, give a girl a subscribe, a like, whatever, a comment, say hey. I love talking to my viewers. And if you want more information, if you want to go even deeper, I am accepting personal readings. Email, again, is in the description box below. Cancer, this is a fabulous time. Embrace the uncertainty. You're going to look back on this time and miss it. You know, I remember a big period where I'm going to go through it again, and I've been through it, but I know exactly where you guys are at on your journey. And it was a very magical, fun time, you know, and I have a lot of good memories from that time. And so just enjoy it, embrace it, and have fun. Okay. I'll see you guys soon, Cancer. Namaste. Oh, I love you guys. Namaste and God bless.